Turkey is actually the fourth most popular edible meat in the country, behind chicken, beef, and pork.
Wait, are there other more popular non-edible meats?
I don't know what kind of popularity contest the meats are having, or who's judging. Maybe sales alone. I don't know. Or amongst their friends, like the deer are over there just laughing at the cows. Suckers.
The number one question asked round the world: why? From the creators of the groundbreaking number one podcast Turned Up come all the answers. You're listening to That's Why with your hosts Jake Jones and Robert Venable.
I'm Robert. This is
Robert. This is Jake.
This is Robert. This is Robert. I'm Jake. And that's why we don't eat potatoes. No. That's why we don't eat fish?
I don't eat fish.
Am I close?
Mm-mm. Try again.
That's why we don't eat turkey eggs.
That's right. I've never had a turkey egg.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
But I've always wondered why we don't eat turkey eggs. Because we eat turkey and we eat chicken. We eat chicken eggs, but we don't eat turkey eggs.
Does this have anything to do with chicken of the sea?
Is this chicken what I have, or is this
Buffalo
fish?
wings? How do they fly? That's a Jessica Simpson reference back in the day.
So we don't really eat turkey eggs, but we used to.
Yeah, there's actually a very long history of people that dates back to, I think it was the 1500s, that served and ate turkey eggs in a various amount of recipes and even on their own.
So let's jump into this. Turkey eggs used to be a menu staple in North America. Wild turkeys roamed the continent before humans did. They found this in the fossil record. They found turkey eggshells at encampments of pre-Columbian Americans, which would be before 1492 when Columbus sailed the ocean blue. They know that the Hopi Indians considered the turkey egg to be a delicacy, while the Navajo didn't.
Just ate the meat,
Just
the
ate the
flesh.
meat.
Yeah.
I thought this was cool because turkeys started here essentially, as far as we know. It was those Europeans in the 1500s that took turkeys back to Europe with them, creating the turkey renaissance of the old world.
That was a thing. Did you know that in the 1500s and 1600s, French commentators actually claimed that turkey eggs could cause leprosy? Yes.
I see that. Yeah, totally.
It's the microbe, I wrote it down here. Mycobacterium leprae causes the disease, and it can be found in turkey eggs. But it's also the same thing that armadillos transmit that pathogen to humans, but you cannot get it. Humans can't get it from eating turkey eggs, yet it could be found in it.
So, next time you see a dead armadillo, don't try to eat it.
Or a live armadillo.
I'll tell you
They're harder to catch than you think.
from experience. that's a
Suckers
bad
can
idea.
turn into a ball and roll away.
So the easiest and most traditional preparation method for turkey eggs is to boil them or
Like poached eggs?
poach them. Neither one of those. I like boiled eggs.
Hard-boiled eggs? Is that the same thing?
Hard boiled eggs.
I don't like soft-boiled eggs. I need it to be firm. My scrambled eggs need to be dry scrambled. I don't like them slimy. I am like an 8-year-old.
The article here doesn't actually state whether they are boiled in or out of the shell, but if it's comparing them to poached, potentially out of the shell, which is really gross. So 19th century chefs also believed that turkey eggs made for better sauces than eggs of other fowl. In fact, we're going to see this as a theme. A lot of these chefs and cooks, bakers preferred turkey eggs to chickens or other fowl.
Alexis Sawyer, which is one of the most celebrated culinary experts in her profession in Victorian England, and arguably the English-speaking world's first celebrity chef, claimed that turkey eggs were better in baked goods and sauces than chicken eggs were. Kind of like you were just saying, you just have to adjust the recipe for the size of the egg comparatively to chicken eggs.
So, what is the size difference between a turkey and chicken egg?
We'll get there in a minute. I have several things I want to talk about.
So, until fairly recently, relatively recently, I suppose, in the ethos of humans being alive on Earth recently, they actually still served turkey eggs in New York. There were turkey egg omelets at New York's legendary Delmonico's restaurant up until the late 19th century, which, if you're like me, that means the late 1800s. I brain good sometimes.
Well, we eat turkey meat, obviously, and a lot of it. Namely, as of 2020, in America, the United States of America, we eat 16 pounds of turkey a year per person. Not as much as chicken, which is 92 pounds of chicken per year per person. This is an average. So someone out there is eating a lot more turkey than I do, because I'm bringing that average down.
I don't eat that much turkey.
Someone is keeping the turkey meat industry afloat, and it is not me. Though I love turkey.
Now, I do sit at the upper end of that 92 pounds a year for chicken, though.
And turkey is actually the fourth most popular edible meat in the country, behind chicken, beef, and pork.
Wait, are there other more popular non-edible meats?
I don't know what kind of popularity contest the meats are having, or who's judging. Maybe sales alone. I don't know. Or amongst their friends, like the deer are over there just laughing at the cows. Suckers. I don't know.
So the last national turkey census, not a thing, was in 2015. So the U.S. produced more than 233 million turkeys in 2015.
That's according to the National Turkey Federation.
That's a thing.
If you are part of the NTF, as those in the insiders call it, let us know, because
I want to know how to become the president of the National Turkey Federation.
How long has the National Turkey Federation been a thing? And are there other federations that I need to know about? I don't know. So you're talking about turkey eggs versus chicken eggs. Size-wise, chicken eggs weigh on average about 1.8 ounces. Turkey eggs weigh on average 2.8 ounces, so less than 2 times as much weight-wise, but apparently the size of the shell is bigger, proportionally.
That's 50 grams to 80 grams if you're
anywhere but here.
If you do other maths.
But they do taste virtually identical.
So
I've heard. Never had.
Yeah, that's what I've heard also. And health-wise, because I know the more health conscious may tend to try not to eat the chicken yolk, just the whites, for various reasons.
Cholesterol or protein, stuff like that content. I did put a couple facts in here.
I thought the more cholesterol, the better.
Depends on what you're going for, sir. How fast you're trying to make an exit. Turkey calories per egg, 135 on average for an average turkey egg, compared to 75 on average for a chicken egg. And then moving over to total fat, we're looking at 9 to 9.5 grams per egg, which is 14% of the composition of the egg, against the chicken egg, which is only 5 grams, which is 9%. So there's less fat, if you want to say per capita, but per egg, percentage-wise, in the chicken egg than in the turkey.
My brain is thinking, okay, but why don't we eat them? It seems like you could sustain people better for longer, maybe less money, I don't know. But I know a big problem with turkey eggs is that turkeys only lay like 100 eggs a year versus chickens, a given chicken will lay like 300 eggs in a year. So twice as big, but only a third as much.
That too, but chickens also come into production a lot younger than turkeys do. 19 to 20 weeks age to become egg bearing, compared to 32 weeks for turkeys.
So you're looking at a shorter period of time in their life to produce a smaller amount of eggs.
Right. So it's faster turnover, quicker turnaround for the chickens, for the chicken hens rather than the turkeys.
All about that almighty dollar.
We should probably talk about, I have a big list here, we have a list here of reasons that could possibly contribute to why we don't eat turkey eggs. And this is the whole, pardon my pun, meat and potatoes of this podcast episode.
There's no meat and potatoes, just eggs. Just eggs. No.
Fine. You take it first.
So a big contributing factor to why we don't eat them is the amount of space required to keep a turkey healthy. Now, this is controversial by nature. Turkeys are more expensive to raise in a factory for this reason. So commercial egg producers typically allocate less than 50 square inches for a single hen. That's, not a lot.
That. 5 by 10, 50 square inches.
Yeah.
Dang.
Versus
that's your hen.
versus turkeys, which are over 3 square feet, which is a lot more.
That. Yeah. Well, turkeys are a lot bigger too than chickens.
So you can fit 8 chickens in the amount of space that you put a single turkey.
That's a good reason why we might not be able to. Also, broodiness. Did you know? I didn't know until we researched for this episode that turkeys have a tendency by nature to become broody more so than chickens. And broody, if you don't know what brooding is when the hen has that instinct to want to lay and incubate the eggs, wants to sit on them and just make a little cozy home and just plop down until these eggs are hatched. Chickens have that inclination as well, but they've had it bred out of them over, the lineage of these, if you want to call them factory turnkey chicken processing plants or growth farms, that they've had that broodiness kind of bred out of them. So they just lay eggs and then they walk around do their own business.
So I've never been to one of these places, but you're telling me that there's not someone walking around reaching up under chickens and
only in the movies, man. Member of my family worked in that industry, so I have learned a lot about that. But it's definitely nothing like you see on TV, where there's just a nest and some beautiful woman wearing a day dress and a basket over her arm skips out into a field and reaches under a chicken like, oh, I've got the breakfast eggs. I mean, on the farm, yes, if you have a beautiful woman living there that wears a day dress, that could happen. However, the general population, when you get your eggs at the grocery store, is not been plucked by a beautiful woman in a day dress with a basket over her arm.
Did you know, this totally off topic, the United States of America is one of the only places in the world that washes our eggs before we sell them. And it creates a big problem because there is a membrane around the shell, be it turkey or chicken, that helps to keep bacteria out of the porous shell.
Interesting. So you're stripping that down.
So you strip it down. So that's why when you get your eggs, you buy them in the refrigerated section, you take them home, you put them in the refrigerator. But when
chicken butts are not refrigerated.
They are not. The only downside to purchasing eggs in other places is the chicken poop on them, which is what made me think.
That would scare me off. That's why I don't eat mushrooms, by the way. Continue on.
That's okay.
More reasons why we might not eat turkey eggs.
So another big one, of course, pun intended, big one, is recipes. Our culture and society for now hundreds of years have compiled recipes with eggs based on the rough size of a chicken egg. Unless you want to triple all of your egg-based recipes, then turkey eggs are not going to work for you.
I can see that would be a problem too, because some recipes I make that call for chicken egg, we're just going to call them eggs, might only call for one egg.
Oh,
so you're going to have to crack a turkey egg and,
Now if we say egg, we have to just assume it's chicken.
Listen. There's also health concerns circling around why we might not eat turkey eggs, because
I'm calling a smell.
Yeah, this is a little weird, and this could be a little political. So when chickens or other animals eat, whatever their feed is, whatever is fed to them, parts and the ingredients from that feed can trickle down into their eggs, their byproduct, right? And that's been proven with chicken eggs and turkey eggs that what they're eating is being trickled down into their eggs. So the USDA has to clear that, like what's been deemed safe to be found in the egg, which they've done with chicken eggs, but not for turkey eggs. So it's tough to find turkey eggs for sale anywhere because the USDA has not approved them safe to be eaten, even though they are completely safe to be eaten.
I was about to say, so the stuff that turkeys eat, of course, I feel like we could safely assume it gets into their meat. Their muscle, so we can eat it when it's there, just not in the egg. And to me, that's just bureaucracy.
And there's a lot of lobbying that's gone on for different animal, like chickens, getting that approved with
Talk
USDA's.
about big tobacco, big pharma. I think the real conspiracy is big chicken.
Called turkey. Big turkeys.
We need to get big turkey in on this.
We need to call a federation. Rally the troop.
So
there's like one guy.
Of course, cost. All of these things really kind of contribute to cost, but the cost, production, and scarcity of turkey eggs, it just tends to make them more expensive. So the average price of a single turkey egg is like $3, which
That's like a whole dozen eggs.
at the time this article was written, that was 2 dozen eggs, but
Depends on what day of the week they're on sale. You can find them for like $1.50 for a dozen.
we're in the latter end of 2021. I feel like that number just keeps going up. So
You're probably right.
but yeah, about 2 dozen just regular commodity chicken eggs. So that means a fertilized turkey egg, a turkey egg that has a little baby turkey in it, is actually worth a lot more than it would be for us to just eat. And so it makes more sense to breed turkeys and sell them for their meat than it does to have them hatch eggs and us eat their eggs.
Which the United States does breed turkeys and eat a lot of their meat. They also send a lot of it, like they export it. Mexico, this fun fact, is the #1 country that we, as the United States, export our turkey meat to. We, as of 2014, we exported 3.1 billion pounds of turkey meat globally. 1.9 billion of that went to Mexico. They love their turkey meat as much as we do.
That is a lot.
You were telling me before we started about, what was it? Oh, the national bird.
Yeah. Okay. So this was eye-opening for me. So I have always heard this story about the turkey either almost became or even maybe
I heard that.
was
It's
unofficially
like the first national bird of the United States.
before the bald eagle. Did a little bit of digging. Now, there are articles and even states' official .gov websites that still claim that to be true. However, the Franklin Institute, all things Benjamin Franklin, which is where this all comes from, says officially no, that it's a myth. So essentially it goes like Benjamin Franklin desired for the U.S. National bird to be a turkey. And this has to do with some things that he did say about turkeys, that they're humble creatures and proud, and that doesn't make sense, but
Humble and proud.
But that they make a good sort of representation of what it means to be American. And that may be true that he said that. However, where the myth got started that he wanted it to be our national bird actually comes from a letter that he wrote to his daughter, stating that he thought the first U.S. seal that had the bald eagle on it, that the eagle on it looked more like a turkey than an eagle. And so it just kind of went from there.
That's where the whole lore started, huh?
Yep.
Interesting.
So how do we get turkey eggs into popular circulation again?
I guess if you're gonna lobby, you have to lobby the Federation. You gotta talk to I don't know. I mean,
Call your local senators and Congress
call the one guy in Federation.
people. No.
I don't know. You could talk to your local farmers. You could find local, what's it called? The farmers market type people and say, hey, you guys got any turkey eggs? And maybe
Probably. We're here in Tennessee, and there are wild turkeys everywhere, and I bet we could probably find us some wild turkey eggs.
we should put the feelers out.
Or if you're like me, just drink Wild Turkey 101 and don't worry about their eggs.
Yep. Rare breed.
So, I feel like we have our answer.
If you've ever wondered why we don't eat turkey eggs, that's why.